Hi, it's me, Vicky Marie, and good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for being here with me. We're on the 19th of July. I'm here in Spain, mainland Spain. For those of you who don't know, my name's Vicky, and I live in Spain, and I talk about true crime or anything that I think is interesting, or that my chatterette I will find interesting, but mainly true crime, missing people, these kind of things from all over the world. So not just in Spain, not just in the UK, but tend to concentrate on UK, Spain, America and Australia. Now, what I'm going to talk about today is this very sad case and still very mysterious case that has just come to my attention this morning, of Doris Aguilar, who complained of being stalked, said she was being stalked. Then she disappeared, and it has now been confirmed she's dead. But we don't know any details yet. This is an American case. So, of course, it's nighttime in America at the moment. So maybe later on, when America wakes up, we'll find more details. But this is what we're going to talk about. And you can imagine, those who know me, you know that this piqued my attention because of the stalking aspect, because I was stalked many, many years ago, but by an ex-partner. But I don't think Doris's stalker, from what I can learn so far, was an ex-partner, just somebody obsessed by her. So, stalking is, we've had that horrible case lately in the UK of the guy who killed his ex-girlfriend and her sister and her mother where was that? In Bushey, near London in the UK. And that sounds like that was some kind of breakup violence, but there will have been stalking involved. That guy, he is in hospital still, seriously ill, gravely ill, because he tried to take his own life after he killed those 3 women, all in one day. This is how stalking can end up. It ends up in murder very often, and murder-suicide very often. I probably shouldn't say the S word. I'm sure YouTube will have something to say about that. But it's so common. It's unbelievably common. And of course, some cases get more attention than others. So the case in Bushey, because the husband of the wife that was killed, of Carol, her husband is sort of quite famous because he's a presenter on horse racing programs in the UK. So it's that case probably got more attention than most, but it happens day in, day out to women and men, to be honest. Men, it doesn't happen so often to men, but it does happen. and these cases don't get reported upon, like the missing cases. Jay Slater was a high profile missing boy, but there's lots of other missing cases. I'm going to concentrate a lot more on the Jack O'Sullivan case in the coming week. Hopefully, there'll be some news sooner or later, but I'm trying to, there are cases that don't get much attention. Anyway, so first of all, I want to thank everyone for watching, liking, subscribing. Of course, special thank you to my members. Please think about becoming a member, because if you want to support if you enjoy my content and you want to support my channel, there are 2 membership levels. One is only $1.99 a month, and that we have a special members live every Thursday evening. And then the next level up, and you don't pay $1.99 for one and $4.99 for the other. It's $4.99 for the 2 levels. Is the Carry On Chatting membership, where you also get special exclusive members live on a Tuesday. So if you do enjoy my content and you feel like it, please consider becoming a member. I also want to say thank you, of course, to everyone who's bought me a Ko-fi or sent a super sticker. I really appreciate every bit of support I get. Thanks for all the emails that I receive. I try and keep up with the emails. Sometimes I fail in that a little bit, but I just want you to know I always do read the emails, but sometimes it takes me a long time to get around to answering, or because of, I try and, the videos, of course, are more important. I like to do at least 2 videos a day. I like to do one in the morning, one in the evening, and sometimes more depending on what comes up, etc. So I just want to thank everyone for that, and then I can take the banner off the bottom. And before I start as well, then I just want to say, so for those of you because all the time I'm getting new subscribers, so I know there'll be people who'll be coming in who don't know anything about me. But if you do want to know a little bit more about me, my book, Confessions of a Spanish Teacher. Oh, because that's the other thing that I do. I am a Spanish teacher. That's my other life. I teach Spanish. And my book, about, growing up in Manchester on a council estate, and then how I ended up being a Spanish teacher in Spain, and really then how I ended up being a YouTuber. And it'll tell you the story of my stalking experience if you don't know about it already. If you're interested in knowing more about me, if you're not, that's fine. I'm just letting you know, because if I don't let people know about it, new people won't know about it. And I believe it's available on Kindle as well as paperback. That's nice. It's got 4.5 star rating, so that's good. I hope people find it interesting. I mean, it's, I'm not J.K. Rowling. It's not like that kind of thing. It just literally came from the heart, this book. I just wrote it down. It was almost like catharsis for me to get it all written down. And it's like going to a psychologist and telling them about it. It's hard to explain. But anyway, so there it is. If you're interested in knowing more about me, it's available on Kindle or paperback, and also it's available on any Amazon site. So this particular one is Amazon UK, I think. And yeah, but you can order it on it wherever you are in the world. You can order it, basically. So just thought I'd let you know about that. Okay, so let me say hello to everyone before I start telling you about poor Doris. I wonder what happened to her. I just, every time I see a story like this, it chills me to the bone, because I know that this could have been me. I could have been a true crime case. It's a horrible thought, actually. And every day I know that I was lucky to escape. I was just lucky that I could move from place to place. Some people can't move. I literally had to move from one house to another every time that my stalker found out where I lived. I had to move again, and I was pregnant as well at the time. So but I was lucky that I could do that. Later when people, sometimes people just can't move, or why should they move anyway? Why should they move? But the thing is, all the laws that we have against stalking, and there are better laws now than there were years ago, but it still doesn't seem to stop these things happening. Now, we don't know for certain yet what exactly happened to Doris, but it seems strange that one minute she was complaining about being stalked, then she disappeared, and now she's been confirmed that she's dead, though I don't think there's been any confirmation of how she died yet. So, hi Chumba, good morning. Yes, so depending on where you are in the world, here in Spain it's 10:48 a.m. It's really hot. I just went to the supermarket earlier. It was 27 degrees at 9:30 in the morning. It is just so hot. But anyway, hi Kelly. Hi Yvonne. Hi Joanne. Oh, I've just showed the book. I think you might have seen it by now, hopefully, Joanne. It's called Confessions of a Spanish Teacher. Hi, BF. Oh, sorry to hear about your dog yesterday. I hope you're okay. Horrible, isn't it? Just horrible. But anyway, I'm so sorry to hear that. Okay, so let's take... just need to... So this is Doris. Now, I'd heard nothing about this case. Let's have a look at where it's happened. Now, this is in Arizona, in Phoenix, across the pond, as they say. Though I don't know if I'd say across the pond from Spain. But Arizona is near Los Angeles. So you've got Los Angeles, San Diego, California, or California's here, Las Vegas. And Arizona is this sort of desert area, isn't it? Can I make that bigger? No. Arizona is this desert area, isn't it? Phoenix is right here. There's been a lot of songs written about Phoenix. It's a place that I think most people have heard of, but maybe you didn't know exactly where it was. I know I've got a couple of I've certainly got one chatter from Arizona. Yeah, so this is where we're going in this story. We're going to Phoenix, Arizona. Near New Mexico. I've never been to America. I'd like to go, but I don't know if I'd like to go over this side. But I'd prefer to go, I think, because it's hot, isn't it? I don't want to go anywhere hot. I think I'd quite like to go over the other side to Maine and those kind of places that are very green, etc. Maybe that's where I'd prefer to go. I don't really want to go anywhere deserty because I live in a hot country, so I would probably find that unpleasant. But yeah, so that's where we're going. To Phoenix. Oh, Utah's just there. Yeah, Utah's not far away, is it? Anyway, so we're going to Phoenix for this story, if we can call it story, but it is a story. It's the story of Doris Aguilar, and it deserves to be told. Doris, her case needs highlighting. All these, there's so many cases, and it's difficult to highlight all of them. But they all these victims deserve their story to be told, don't they? Hi, David. Hi, Fragaria. Okay, so let's have a look. So I found it on Twitter. Or X. I was roaming through Twitter this morning, as I do, and came up on this story totally by accident. And I, didn't know anything about it. I just want to show you some more photos of Doris. So Doris liked to go to the gym. So she would social media can be a bit worrying, can't it? When if you've got a stalker, is this somebody who's seen her on social media because she liked working out? She went to the gym a lot, you know, like most young women do. She put a lot of photos on her social media of her at the gym, etc. Yeah. So is that where this stalker has found her, on social media? Or is it a neighbor? Or is it a friend? Is it an ex-boyfriend? You know, and I have to say, we do not know yet that the stalker incident is related to her disappearance or her death. And we don't even know how she died yet. It's just been confirmed that she has been found dead. So let's just have a look at, I wonder if I can look at, this was a missing poster. Let's have a look at a missing poster. So, Doris Maricela Aguilar, 25 years old. She was missing from Phoenix, Arizona. She was last seen on the 1st of July, 2024. They have updated her status now as found. And this missing person poster was only created yesterday. You know, it's difficult when an adult goes missing, of course, because adults, you know, may just not want to be found. So she went missing on the night of July the 1st. Her car was found abandoned 7 days later near Interstate 17 and Bethany Home Road. Her car was found in the parking lot of a mall, unlocked, with her purse and wallet inside full of cash. So not a robbery then. She's a gym rat and had her meals prepared for the following days. A former co-worker had been stalking her. A former co-worker had been stalking her and is possibly involved in her disappearance. So if you are from that area, if you know anything about it, you should ring the Phoenix police on the number here. But she is no longer missing. She has been found and she has been confirmed dead. But as I said, I don't know the details yet of where she's been found. Not yet. We don't know, unfortunately. So let me just read this article before we look at the videos that I was looking at this morning. So this is an article in the US Sun on July the 18th, which was yesterday. A frantic search is underway for a missing 25-year-old woman who was last seen on July the 1st, as family members fear her alleged stalker is behind her disappearance. Law enforcement officials in Phoenix are frantically searching for Doris Maricela Aguilar after her vehicle was found abandoned in a mall parking lot a week after she was last seen. This must be her car, I presume. So it makes you think, if it was abandoned in a mall, as what, you know, shopping centres seem quite dangerous in the UK. So many people are abducted from shopping centres, from the car parks. I've seen that in so many cases. Why is that? You know, so had someone been following her, and then when she went to get in her car, or was she in her car? Maybe they had a gun, got her out of her car, kidnapped her. Who knows how she ended up disappearing? But her car has been found in the shopping centre parking lot, and all her money in there, etc. Don't know if her phone was in there or not. So here's you know, several photos of her. She looks like quite an action girl. She liked the gym. She liked activity. So family members described her as a health nut and a gym rat. She vanished on July the 1st and was seen leaving her apartment complex at around 7 p.m. So it was evening time when she went out. So was it dark when she went to the shopping centre, I wonder? So the woman's parents reported her missing that evening after the 25-year-old failed to return home, and the police located her Honda Civic in a mall parking lot, unlocked, with her purse and wallet inside. Sounds like her phone was not there. As a mother, I feel distressed and concerned because I need to know where my daughter is. Maria Gloria Aguilar, the woman's mother, told Univision from Honduras. That's right, because her family are in Honduras. So they're not in the USA. So they've hired a private detective, Steve Fisher, to look into this. And we're going to hear from him shortly. So my wife is also concerned more than anything, sick and depressed about our daughter. So it comes to that again, doesn't it? It's bad enough having a missing child. But when you're in another country, you know, Honduras is a long way from Arizona. You know, it's not just up the road. It's not just, you know, even America itself is a big place. So if you were on the other side of America, it'd be difficult. You're in South America, in Honduras, worrying about your daughter, you know, not knowing what's happened to her, knowing that she had a stalker, knowing that she'd expressed concern for her own safety, and then she disappears. Again, just awful to think of it. So Aguilar's family, sorry, don't call her Aguilar. Doris's family does not believe she ran away and suspects her alleged stalker is behind her disappearance. And David Lara, one of Doris's friends, told Fox affiliate KSAZ TV that the 25-year-old was fearful of a stalker. There was this man that would follow her to different gyms, Lara told the outlet. The desperate family, the desperate family, where's that gone? Why did that jump? The desperate family hired missing persons private investigator Steve Fisher to help locate Doris. Yeah, they're so, you know, they're so disrespectful, this mainstream media. They keep calling her Aguilar. This happens every time when we're talking about victims. They keep using the surnames. It is so disrespectful. Honestly, I just feel like I'm talking to myself sometimes when I moan about it. I've been on their social media complaining about, I think I should get a petition up or something to stop them using using victims' surnames and not their first names. It's like they're not counting them as real people. Anyway, Fisher told the KSAZ TV that Doris's alleged stalker would pop up in the parking lot of her gym. How terrifying. And the private investigator claims that Doris was forced to switch gyms 3 times because of this man. So why do women or men, why does someone who's being stalked have to change their life because of what somebody is doing to them? I don't know if she went to the police or not, but and I don't know if the police would have done it. I think the police would have approached him. Fancy being forced to switch gyms 3 times because of being stalked. It's disgusting. The actual perpetrators, it's like they're free, but the victims are in prison. Victims have to change their life, change what they do, and the perpetrators just swan around. God, I think if I was her, I would have, if I was in America, I would definitely have a gun and I would have just shot that. Sorry, I'm not recommending that. I'm being a bit dramatic there. But honestly, if I lived in America, I would have a gun, definitely have a gun. And if I was being stalked like that, I would let him know that I had a gun as well. Because if you were, well, I'd go to the police first. I'd try and do it decently first. But if I was getting nowhere with the police, I'm sorry, I'd take my punishment. I'd go to prison. But I'm not living like that. Why should she be forced to switch gyms 3 times because of somebody else? Why should she? How should he get away with that? Gosh, it makes me so angry. I cannot tell you. I literally would be so angry. Hi, Mia. Yeah, I would. Yeah, that's a good idea, actually. I would just shoot him in the knee or something and try not to kill him. But I wouldn't have that. You can't have that. Just, it's disgusting that he should get away with that. Men need educating, or people need educating in general. They should do these classes at school, how to take rejection, how to just accept when someone's not interested in you. How dare you? How dare anyone try and make somebody pay attention to them or love them? How dare they? You know, they could do it, putting that on the curriculum. Deal with rejection. We all get rejected from time to time. I've been rejected more times than I can count, you know, but it's just like, you know, that's life, isn't it? Get on with it. It's this sense of entitlement, isn't it, that people have, that, you know, oh, you know, he was probably going around saying she had a mental illness because she didn't like him. That's what they normally do, isn't it? Oh, yeah, there's something wrong. There must be something wrong with her because she wasn't interested in him, not even thinking that actually there's something wrong with him. So, yeah, try and educate your children, please, as well, as if they're not doing it at school. You know, just, you cannot, if somebody doesn't want you, they don't want you. You can't make them want you. You have no right to anyway. So the private investigator claims that Doris was forced to switch gyms 3 times because of the man. They're scared to death. I can see the fear in their faces. Fisher told the outlet about the family. He said the man would send Doris frightening messages via Facebook Messenger of pictures of weapons. Surely she could report him for that. She must have gone to the police. Fancy that. So he's sending her pictures of weapons. I would have sent him one back of a bigger gun, I think. I mean, come on. This has just got to stop. I don't know how it can stop this, but you know, whenever things like this happen, and not only in America but in the UK, in Spain, it happens in Spain, it happens everywhere. And whenever there's a case that comes up, you always get the Prime Minister, the President, or the you know, the government or whatever going on saying, oh, we're going to put a stop to this, we're going to do this, and we're going to do that, and then it just happens again. It's got to, something better has got to be done. You know, it just can't keep, because it's not, they're not isolated incidents. We only get to hear of, you know, tiny percentage. If you actually look into it, it's so depressing. It's like, you know, it's heartbreaking how often it happens. And, you know, it could be your daughter, could be your wife, it could be your sister, could be your mother, you know, it could be anyone. Or, you know, it does, as I say, it does happen to men as well, but just to a lesser degree. So, you know, it could be anyone, it could be you. It's got, so this affects everybody. Everybody. There's nobody that might not be affected by stalking. It has no social class. You know, it doesn't matter if you're poor, rich, if you're aristocracy, if you're, it doesn't matter who you are. Stalking, because it is a mental illness as well, it needs addressing. I do think it is a mental illness. It's obsession, isn't it? And there's got to be, you know, it can be, hopefully, you know, can it be addressed by dealing with mental illness better? Or can it be addressed by better education and earlier on, and, you know, in schools, like, you know, letting people know they are not entitled to another person's life. Anyway, so she did file a police report. So apparently on June the 9th, Doris filed a police report after she noticed the man was following her at a Walmart in Phoenix. I ask you all from the bottom of my heart to help me find Marithella safe and sound, the distraught mother told Univision. But Phoenix police declined to confirm if Doris had a stalker, telling the US Sun they're investigating every possible lead, including any suspects that would have been reported by Miss Aguilar in the past. So the police are not saying anything. It's too early days probably yet for the police to say something, isn't it? Okay, so I'm going over to X now, or to Twitter, where I first saw this story. It just popped up on my feed. Yeah, Mia, I agree. I think education would help. It must help. It can't do any harm, can it? Maybe it won't. Maybe there are some people it can never help, but it's just some sort of education. People have got to know that they cannot do this. Just can't do it. So let's have a look. So this is a news outlet. Now I need to read. I need to show you the first one. So yeah, because they had literally only just done a focus on this story, and then literally just after they presented this, it was confirmed that she'd been found dead. So let's have a look at the story that they first presented on this news channel.
What were you able to find out so far?
Yeah, so Phoenix police say they are actively investigating 25-year-old Doris Aguilar's disappearance. Most of her belongings were found inside her car, except her cell phone and car keys. A private investigator working with the family and police says Doris told her family she felt in danger from a stalker that wouldn't leave her alone. Her family and friends know 25-year-old Doris Aguilar as a hard worker and health conscious, always at the gym. But things turned from concerning to dire after she disappeared on July 1st.
Joe, sometimes I think it's like women can't be attractive. It's like if you could see she was a keep fit fanatic, very attractive girl, looked after herself. And it's almost like you can't do that because that will attract some nutter's attention. She should be able to do what she wants, look how she wants, dress how she wants, put photos up if she wants to. And quite often the victims get blamed. We saw that sometimes in the Rachel Marin case, because Rachel Marin looked after herself and she obviously had, she dressed as she wanted to dress. She was a very beautiful woman. Sometimes people say, oh, well, make comments about that as if you're not allowed to do that. So do you need to dress down, be dowdy, not wear makeup, not make the best of yourself, because just in case, you might tempt some poor person to stalk you. It makes me so angry. Just makes me so angry about this.
Car found sitting for days outside a fashion store at the Christown Mall.
They found her purse, her wallet.
So this is Steve Fisher, the private investigator that the family have hired because the family are miles away in Honduras.
Her passport, credit cards, cash. So it was clear that the motive was not robbery, which was more concerning. The car was unlocked.
Steve Fisher is a private investigator hired by Doris's family, most of whom live in Honduras.
This surveillance from the store is just so critically important.
And do we know if it exists?
Well, we don't.
But Fisher says they've been able to put together some pieces of the puzzle, just unsure of how they all fit together. He says her phone data shows the phone shut off not long after 8 p.m. on July 1st when she went missing. But then it shows
So that's interesting because apparently she went to the mall at 7 p.m. they said earlier, and it's saying there that her phone was switched off at 8 p.m. So something happened, didn't it? An hour after she went out.
activity the next day.
On the 2nd at 9 something in the morning, it pinged in Peoria for a very short amount of time.
Doris lives in Phoenix and has no ties to Peoria. Police returned Doris's car to her family after searching it.
So I don't know where Peoria is. I don't know where that, but that's so that her phone pinged there, so miles away, not from, she has no ties to Peoria, wherever that is. So that's significant.
Search warrant still inside, now in Fisher's possession, while Doris Aguilar is a missing persons investigation.
This is a homicide search warrant.
The words possible homicide at the top. only escalating fear her family and friends feel knowing Doris had told them about a stalker.
She did tell her family and important people in her life that about this person, and that if anything happened to her, that he was responsible, and he scared her.
Fisher says the man kept sending both obsessive and threatening messages to Doris, which she ignored.
Imagine, so someone's stalking you and then they send you that message with a gun. Oh, just makes me so angry. Makes me so angry. How dare he? How dare he? Well, God, I hope they find this guy. Obviously, it's just the start now of an investigation. And what you're saying, David, is true. They'll have CCTV. They'll probably have all sorts. This guy may have gone off and done something to himself, because that's quite often what they do. If he had a gun, you know, he might have done something to her, whatever he's done to her, and then gone off and done the same to himself, because in their sick minds, it's like they'll be together then. That's what that guy who from Bushy did, you know. He's gone and tried to delete himself and been unsuccessful. They're trying to save his life. They've charged him with murder, but he's still quite seriously ill, I think, in hospital. They haven't mentioned him for a while, but I just hope he survives to face justice. But quite often these people, they're cowards. They don't want to face justice. They want to murder the person that they're obsessed with, take them out of this world so they can't end up with anybody else. And then quite often they take themselves out of the world. You know, they're not bothered if they get caught or not. They don't care. They just want to die, because then they think they're going to be with that person. Oh my God, I hope he is still alive somewhere and he faces full justice.
And after encountering him multiple times in her EOS gym parking lot, she recently switched gyms.
So she moved to Lifetime Fitness, and one of I think the last Facebook post that he's made is a post saying, "Getting my Lifetime membership back, see you soon." And that was on June 27th. 3 days later, never seen her again. And we've never.
So she moved gym, and then he's announced on Facebook he's going back to that gym, the Lifetime gym. That's ironic, isn't it? The Lifetime gym. He's signed up to it, and now she's disappeared. You know, I feel like he might have done something to himself, because he wasn't secret about the things he said. He knows that the police will know exactly who he is. So he didn't seem to be bothered about revealing his identity. So I would not be surprised if the next thing is they find him deceased as well, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised. Normally they either do that or they just give themselves up because they know they're going to get caught sooner or later. So he'll either delete himself or just allow himself to be caught, and just, you know, I don't know whether they've got the death penalty in Arizona or not, but of course they've got to find it. Well, they said she's confirmed dead, so I'm presuming they have found her body. Bless her.
We're seeing him either, because we're looking for him.
Fisher says the man was using fake names online, but Wednesday, Fisher was able to find his real identity.
You know, if we find him, we find her. And that's our focus right now. So that's what we're looking for.
So bear in mind, this particular video was before she's been confirmed dead. So there was probably still some hope that she may be alive, because it could have been keeping her somewhere.
It is important to note police have not named any suspects in her disappearance, but they are actively investigating leads. Fisher says Doris Aguilar had no signs of mental illness or drug abuse. There are no signs at all she left on her own will. Extremely concerning.
So the private investigator able to gather a lot of information, including internet, cell phone information.
Yep.
Anything in there that could help.
So he was able to download everything from T-Mobile, Meta, so Instagram, Facebook, and Google, everything, right? So he said there was really nothing concerning other than the messages that were from the alleged stalker, but he was able to actually see that when she was driving to the Christown Spectrum Mall, she was listening to music on YouTube. And then that abruptly stops. There was nothing after that at all that he was able to see. They're working on trying to get surveillance footage. The Olive Garden in that parking lot was very cooperative, gave him their surveillance footage. But unfortunately, Doris's car was just outside the border there, just outside the frame, and you couldn't see. So there's a lot of concern.
That's a shame, isn't it? Her car was just outside the frame. Maybe that's a lesson to us all. Always park your car near a CCTV camera, just in case. You know, the things you have to think about.
Here, obviously, for her well-being.
18 days does seem like they have some clues to work with, though.
Yes.
So we'll be following up. Brianna, thanks.
So literally,
what were you able to find out so far?
Yeah, so Phoenix police say they are actively investigating 25-year-old Doris Aguilar's disappearance. Most of her belongings.
They had just sort of released that, and then not long after, they released this video to say that she had been confirmed that she was dead. So what
were found inside her car.
3 hours. Yeah, I can't work out the times of it, but yeah. So literally, she's got
Except for cell
the same
phone
dress
and
on.
car
But,
keys.
so literally a couple of hours after they released that video about the case, unfortunately, some news came through.
We have a breaking update on a true crime Arizona case we just covered on the news at 9 o'clock tonight. A 25-year-old Phoenix woman missing since July 1st has now been confirmed dead. Our true crime correspondent, Brianna Whitney, is in our newsroom with the breaking update late tonight. Just coming in, Brianna.
Just coming in. We're learning this really with all of our viewers as well. We knew Doris Aguilar had been missing since July 1st, and her family was extremely concerned because she had expressed fear about a stalker. We don't know the circumstances of how, but we do now know she is confirmed dead. According to the county medical examiner's office, Doris Aguilar died on July 7th. Her cause of death is listed as pending. We know from.
So what about that? So she died. Now remember, she disappeared on the 1st of July. Now they're saying she died on the 7th of July. How would they know that? How would they know exactly? But anyway, I know cause of death is pending so far. Ay, so sad.
Her family and a private investigator. She disappeared on July 1st. Her car was found sitting for days outside a store at the Christown Mall. The PI says, according to cell phone data, her phone shut off around 8 p.m. on the 1st, then pinged one more time in Peoria the next day before being shut off again. According to a search warrant for her car, Phoenix police were already investigating this as a possible homicide. Her family and the investigator say she had concerns about a stalker. Recently, they say that man had been messaging her obsessive and threatening words and showing up outside the gym that she worked out at. It is important to note police have not named any suspects in her disappearance and now death, but we know they are actively investigating and expect to get some more information on all of this tomorrow. I did talk with the family's PI earlier today. Some of that interview is online at azfamily.com. Of course, this is all unfolding. We will keep you updated as we learn more. Guys, I'll send it back to you.
Definitely in the news that none of us wanted to hear. Brianna, thank you.
So there you go. Now maybe they found him dead as well. We don't know, and we won't find out. I'll say it's night time in America at the moment. As America wakes up later, I'm sure there'll be more news comes out about this case, and I will update you on it. It's so very sad, and my heart just goes out to a family all that way away in Honduras. You know, a mum just feeling totally what's the word, just hopeless really, because you can't do anything either to help. You know, that was your daughter and you'd be there miles away, and now you're finding out she's dead and you're just there like can't do anything. I just don't know how these people who lose their children like this, even adult children or little children, or loved ones in general, I just don't even know how they get up in the morning or you know, how brush their teeth or carry on with normal life. I just don't know, you know, how you survive these kind of things. I really don't understand. You know, my heart just goes out to them, and to pray for strength for them, because that's all you can do. You know, there's nothing anyone can do. This woman, it looks like she's been murdered by her stalker. Now, we don't know, allegedly, of course, we don't know the full story yet, but, you know, I think we can gather that that's probably what's happened. But we'll find out later. So I will be back later or tomorrow or now. I'm back tonight. I'm definitely doing a live this evening. I'm not sure exactly what time yet. And I'm going to talk about something that I haven't spoken about for a long time. When I did a poll recently, people said they wanted sometimes to go back over cases. And I'd like to go over the Nicola Bulley, the welfare check, because I'm going to sort of do a series of looking at things that caused the hysteria, if you like, in the Nicola Bulley case, the things that didn't add up, which of course there were loads of things. You know, we thought Jay Slater, I mean, it's funny because with Jay Slater, there's loads of conspiracy theories, but really there's no reason for them that I could see. Whereas with Nicola Bulley, I could see why people got sort of a bit hysterical about the whole thing. And of course, one of the main things is the welfare check on the 10th of January. That was part of the reason why people were so sort of convinced that there's some, you know, some foul play involved or some sort of coercive control or, you know, some mystery involved. That we don't know what all the details do. So that's what the live will be about tonight. We're going to go back and look at that in view of what we know now as well, because of course there's so many more things we do know now with the College of Policing report, and since then there's been the inquest, etc. So in view of the things that we found out later, we will be looking at the welfare check in the Nicola Bulley case. That's what we'll be looking at tonight. In the meantime, of course, any update on any case that I'm following, I will always let you know one way or another, whether it's in a short video or whether it's a community post. I keep you updated anything that I find out. But for now, we're waiting to find out what did happen to Doris Aguilar, and it sounds like, you know, she was let down in some way, but what can we do about this issue? You know, it's terrible, so awful. So anyway, I hope you all have a great Friday. You know, watch out for car parking lots. I mean, the thing is about when you go to these shopping centres with the massive car parking lot, you know, you do have to be vigilant, not only of being abducted, but of being robbed, you know, etc. And one thing I would one day I need to do a video on advice on what to do, like if somebody tries to rob you or abduct you or whatever. But you know, that's something we'll do in another time. So have a great day. I'll see you later. Remember to live and love wisely, carefully, and till I see you again, may your God always, as always, go with you. See you later. Sorry, P.S. Please don't forget to leave your DNA on the like button. And if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing, because that really helps me out. Thank you. Bye.